Hello, everyone. We're in Southern California with Phythera Therapeutics. I'm CEO and co-founder of Phythera, Dr. Igor Nasonkin, and my co-founder is former faculty, former CEO of two successful companies. I am a former faculty as well, and also former director of R&D of successful clinical stage company. So we're a C Corp company. We're 3.5 years old, and we're leveraging botanicals for developing efficacious RX cancer drugs. So there are many diseases that we care about, but of course, cancer is very, very important. So let's look at what it is. So problem for patients. So cancer, together with blindness and paraplegia, is one of 3 most feared diseases. We know that. So I previously worked in ophthalmology, and I know this niche very well. Cancer is equally feared disease. Approximately 40% of men and women will be diagnosed with cancer. This is really staggering, a very high number of people. And only in the US, in 2024, we're expecting 2 million new cases, and about 611,000 people will die from cancer. Regardless of all the treatments, people are still dying from cancer. It's a very feared disease, and that's what we focused on. So, and of course, global cancer burden is only continuing to rise worldwide. So it's a big problem. And for people who are receiving treatments, yes, some cancers are treatable, maybe 50%, 80%. But what happens is chemotherapy and radiation take a big toll on the health of people. And Cody, like no one else knows how radiation and chemo may impact the brain, creating a so-called fogginess of the brain. So, because the radiation chemo impact hippocampus, the skin becomes brittle, hair loss. I have a neighbor next house to mine. She has stage 4 cancer, and she has no hair, and her skin is very brittle. And she said, I cannot take those radiation chemo anymore. So that's where we come in. So cancer remains a big problem. And for investors, there's also a big problem. So the drug development is very costly. It's only, specifically in oncology, only 3.5 to 4.5, close to 5% of the drugs actually reach the stage of FDA approval. And this is only dropping more and more year after year. And also there is a declining R&D productivity issue. So the big pharma companies are basically running out of innovation, running out of drugs. And there are fewer and fewer unicorn biotechnology companies, startups with $1 billion or more, which can give investor 100 to 1 or higher return of investment. So from investor point of view, how to de-risk your investment. So these are all the problems. So that's where we come in. So we have of Phythera Therapeutics. And what we do, we take botanicals that already work, or you have track record of working in people. So, and by doing so, we de-risking phase 1 safety and phase 2 efficacy data, and creating efficacious and safe RX drugs that we can give to people as alternative, or in addition to toxic chemo and radiation. And when I say alternative, usually a drug is tested together with standard of care, but in doing so, we can enable people to have less of chemo, less of this toxic radiation. So what are our strong points? So strong points are the team. We're 200 years plus of expertise. We have IP. We have IP on enhanced botanicals, and it's a platform technology. It's something that covers not only the first botanical that we're working on, but a bunch of botanicals. So, and critically, we're a small startup company with data in people. So this means we have data coming from Central Asia from our clinician inventor, that already tested his drug in people. And what we did, we imported this drug in the US, we enhanced it, we wrapped IP around it, and we want to give it back to people as enhanced botanical drugs, as RX drugs for cancer therapeutics. So what is our solution? So let's see, what is our solution? So solution is several-fold. So we are enhancing the effect of cancer cells on cancer cells, original botanical drugs used for our clinician inventor. So it's a platform technology. We have IP on that, and we have multiple formulation. And for de-risking, So we're using three different approaches. In addition to developing RX drugs, we also are using cosmeceuticals, and we're also using repurposing of our drugs for veterinary use, which is big. Collectively, it creates higher value for investors. All right, so the team. The team is very strong. So I'm former faculty for training from MIT and Johns Hopkins and NIH, former director of R&D in another clinical stage company. Our co-founder is Charles. He's successful CEO of two biotechnology companies. Charles lives in Israel. We have acting CMO with experience from Regeneron. We have Mr. Ed Inal, who made name for commercializing cosmeceuticals. And we have a team of experts covering pretty much all the needs of the company. Basically, this team is a dream team, and we can execute. So here's our business unit. So of course, the main focus is on human oncology, but for de-risking, we're using cosmeceuticals, which do not require FDA approval. And we also planning to repurpose our RX oncology drugs for veterinary use. Collectively, it creates higher value for investors. So basically 3 shots on the goal. So this is a complicated slide, but basically shows our significant advantages of our technology. What we have is a polymolecular drug, meaning a botanical drug consisting of many efficacious small molecules. It's viewed as one drug in the eyes of FDA, though it is polymolecular, and there's specific approval path for this drug. So basically view it as a chemotherapy on steroids, but chemotherapy that doesn't have track record of being toxic. So what we did, we imported this drug from Central Asia. We tested it extensively in our facility. We have cell data. We have also critically in ovo data, meaning we put cells, human metastatic cancer cells in developing chick embryo. We applied the drug or control, and we showed that the drug can basically halt the progression of cell division in ovo, and and basically enables a chick to be born, while if the drug is not applied, we get massive tumors. So the opportunity is enormous. So look at this market. So we're pursuing several indications: breast, lung, skin, prostate, and gastrointestinal, and everything is obese. It's a big market, and this market is only growing. So this creates tremendous opportunities for early investors. So this is our drug development timeline. So what's done is we tested and validated our drug in our R&D facility, which is in San Leandro, East Bay in California. We submitted a provisional patent covering enhanced botanicals, which covers not only our botanical, but a bunch of other botanicals, so creating a platform. So, and what we're raising money for is for last quarter of 2024 through 2028. So what we need to do is produce doses of the drug, prepare, submit documents to FDA, and initiate phase 1 clinical trial. So, so this is our capital raising strategy. We raised several $100,000, and what currently we're raising a seed round for at least $5 million, which will be covering fourth quarter of 2024 through first quarter of 2028. And use of fund is continuation of R&D, operating expenses through 2026, initiation of phase 1 clinical trial, and continuing into phase 2. So we offering safe notes, and we can discuss the cap. So this is our exit strategy. So exit strategies are very good, very attractive for early investors, because early deal making is became a norm in oncology, because big pharma, they're running out of new drugs. So they're grabbing every promising drug early on, specifically in oncology. 30% of all acquisitions are in oncology. And if you look at the upper right quadrant, 49.2% deals happen at the level of Series A. So it means that though investors can exit at any stage, so early exit is very feasible. And in addition, there are multiple licensing deals that are available. So collectively, that creates a good opportunity for investors to cash in early on the investment. So this is our two contact numbers. So I am in Southern California, in the city of Irvine. This is QR code for contacting me, and my co-founder and twice successful CEO, Charles Irving. He's Israeli. He lives in Israel. We plan to have a facility in Israel, which will be growing those botanical drugs with small QC lab that will be shipping those drugs for clinical trials back to US and worldwide. So thank you for your attention.